Well, it is a gray, gray morning in San Diego. And yet, photographers and cars are out in the car. Scott Davenport.
Spencer Pablo.
And,
What's up, people?
oh my God. So it's like 12 after 6 in the morning. And
Yeah.
I think I saw somebody else who's kind of in their car over there jump.
So good morning. Or afternoon or evening, depending on whenever you guys watch this. We decided, hey, let's go do a sunrise shoot.
In June gloom.
Yeah, June gloom. Actually, smack dab in the middle of May gray and June gloom here in
this is
San
early
Diego.
June as we're recording this.
So
That didn't go over so well. Just didn't work out. Yep.
Yeah, but I'm gonna consider. I'm not gonna consider it a waste. I'm gonna consider it kind of a recon mission, so then that way I'm better prepared for if the clouds look great, and now I know what lenses to bring. This was a landscape shot that I was like, you know what, it would be kind of nice. I don't think I need an ultra wide, like a 12 millimeter or something like that, but maybe something wide. Well, now that I'm boots on ground, it was across the street. It was our original spot.
Right.
I'm like, nope. I need something like in the 100 millimeter to 200
exactly.
millimeter.
Yeah, 12 millimeter.
Yeah.
Like, we're on the Coronado side of San Diego. The bridge would look like, this tiny little, I don't even know what it
Like,
would be
what are we
present.
looking at there?
Yeah, exactly.
A whole bunch of water, a whole bunch of sky, and very little bridge. So,
Yeah. But speaking of gear, you had a good gear question.
yeah. Hey,
And,
hey, Scott.
Hey, Spencer.
Is there gear that you've purchased with like these hopes of using a lot, and then all of a sudden find yourself not ever really using it?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. Yeah, fewer and far between, because I'm not as much of a gear purchasing guy, but one that stands out way above the rest is this thing called a time-lapse view. Now, nothing against the gear. It does what it's designed to do. So this thing is, it's designed to help you take time lapses. It's not like a rail system and all that, but it's ramping the aperture, the exposure, whatever, to make sure you get a balanced set of photos for like day to night, night to day, and even go so far as to change the interval between the shots. So as you get into the middle of the night, short of taking star trails, I don't need a photo every 30 seconds, every 20 minutes is fine. And I've used it precisely once. And it worked. It did exactly what it was designed to do, but I just have not incorporated it into my photography.
Sure.
And for me to be out somewhere, I don't go camping. To do these things, you need to be, it's like, heading into sunset and through the evening or vice versa.
Yeah.
You're parking for 6 to 8 hours easily, and to do a good one. I did like a 2 hour plus thing.
Okay.
And it came out fine, but it has been on a shelf.
Yeah.
For the better part of 9 months, a year. Well, wait a minute.
When did we get it?
It would have been like end of summer, so getting close to 9 months. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've used mine a handful of times. I find myself grabbing the Sony cameras that have the time-lapse app in it anyway, because I'm used to it. But and it does the Sony ones do an okay job of the Holy Grail, the transition from day to night, night to day. It does an okay job. It would be nice to monitor it, which is what this thing brings. That I'm really excited about. But I don't really use it as much. That being said, the Sony ones had a time lapse. They had. If you buy a new Sony now, you're not going to get it.
Older cameras with the app ecosystem.
Right. So I had the time lapse app for about a year and a half, and I was like, why did I spend $10 on this thing? I think it was $10. Yeah. And then it's been just sitting there, and then all of a sudden I started using it. I was like, "Well, this is cool," and now I find myself using it frequently. So I don't know. Maybe there's that little bump you're going to get past, and you're going to be like, you know what? I can actually see myself using this a lot more.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Again, it's not that the gear is bad. It was just a bad choice for me.
Man, that cold brew was just.
Cold?
Well, no, it was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and hang out and linger in the back of your throat for a little bit.
What about you though? What about you? Do you got a piece of gear that's
betwixt
Yeah,
my legs on the ground? Oh man, that was horrible.
So this piece of gear that you don't use?
So so it's actually it's not the lens, it's not the body. This is my most used body here. It's what's in between. It's a shift.
I have an alarm going off. Okay.
Wake up.
I'm awake.
Wake up. So it's a shift attachment. So then that allows. Here, I'm going to do it.
So not the tilt, just the shift.
Correct. So it's see how it does that. It does it I think that's a -10 relative to the middle camera that I'm facing.
Okay.
There's a +10 and then there's a 0. So what it does is it takes my 12mm lens and turns it into a 17. And when I do use it, when I do remember to bring it, it turns it into a really good solution for panos. And I've used it before, like Bixby Bridge up the coast of California. I did a great, well, I thought it was a pretty neat sweeping panoramic of that because I was able to do that using this thing. But that was last summer, and I think that was the last time I actually touched this thing, other than to explain to people what a shift adapter is.
Well, let me ask you the question then. Is like, the advantage of using that versus
panning,
what I call a traditional pano,
where
parallax. You actually pan. So this would be in lieu of
parallax.
A nodal system.
Yes.
Okay.
So here your sensor relative here, boom, right here. So your sensor is going to be parallel to whatever it's going to be the way it is, however you frame it, and then as you move it, the sensor position doesn't change, so you don't get that weird like parallax and thing like that, which you can correct for. But when you correct for it, sometimes you lose millimeters when you correct for it in software. This is super useful for architecture. Because
that's what the tilt shift is like classically for, to keep the lines vertical and horizontal.
Correct. So you have to be careful with this, because this isn't actually a tilt shift. This is simply a shift.
Just a shift.
So I was able to just rotate this thing. So instead of going this way and being able to move it just along the horizon relative to a landscape shot, I can rotate it there, and then now I can go below and then above.
Yeah, I can see it shifting up there. Yeah.
So, I don't use this as much, and this was not cheap. So I don't use that thing as much.
And no, that's not specific to that lens.
No, this is.
It is specific to the lens.
So if I use this thing here, I have to use this lens. If I'm like, what, I want to go and do that. The lens itself was also fairly pricey. But these things are built well. It's all metal and all that stuff. But the Sony E-mounts.
Yep.
I had to buy a Canon adapter, a Canon lens mount, and then this is a Canon E-mount tilt. I'm sorry, shit. You got me saying tilt now.
Sorry.
This is the shift adapter. So that's what I had to do.
Oh my gosh.
I use it maybe once a year.
So it's a very purpose-built type of gear. So it's kind of like a theme bubbling up here is when you've got something that is like something that's really specific, tailored to a specific job.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing that type of job very often, well, then it probably is going to sit in a bag or sit on the shelf for a longer amount of time. Yeah. And so, I don't know. Would you classify that as something like, I wanted to try this out, I wanted to explore this? Was this like a piece of gear purchased to kind of try to shake up your photography, or was it...
No, it was, well, if I'm getting the lens, it's this thing, like if I buy something and I know it has additional capabilities, I might as well get it right from the beginning.
Oh, okay,
because
get it
you
right.
get a package deal.
I see. You're more the upgrade guy,
yeah. I am. So if I know...
The upsell.
That's me. Yeah, sir, do you want a 20-year warranty with this battery?
20 years.
Sure. So I'm the upsell guy. I like decking my stuff out. And that is one that, I think in my mind, I was reading up on the website. I was like, I see myself doing that all the time. No, once a year.
Yeah.
So that's what I've got.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've bought and I ended up just not using very much. I had a flash, like when I had Nikon cameras, I had a flash, like a speed light, and I just didn't use it enough. I'm still taking a lot of pictures of my kids at the time, but it was just, it was cool to learn enough about how the flash works.
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah, it sold it off.
So
Did not replace it.
those speed lights. I have a box of Sony speed lights that I use. Even I forget about them so much that I actually have this box. But yeah, I probably use them for run and gun weddings if I don't bring off camera strobes. I use them maybe also once a year, if that.
Well, for
And I
those,
have like 6 of them.
But for those, I mean, you do a lot of portrait work, and did you use them a lot in the past? And now you've kind of your style of shooting has changed. And they've outgrown.
I think I did use it more, and then I have a bunch of gear, a bunch of Sony cameras, and they're the older A mount styles. And when I would shoot a wedding, I would have redundancies, or I'd give my second shooter a camera body and then a speed light to go along with it. And so I would kind of outfit my whole thing. But now I've shifted over to off camera flashes.
Yeah.
So I think it started back in the day when I shot Minolta, and it was a Minolta specific hot shoe. So these are these are a standard now. Where you have the little thing goes right in there. Well, this sucks even more because the flashes I have are for the old school one. So I have to buy these adapters, but
which nobody's making or wanting really anymore.
Yeah, but when they do, they charge like $30 for a friggin' adapter.
Well, yeah, I guess it's...
So,
do you want to spend $30 or do you want to spend however many hundreds on totally new strobes and flashes?
Oh, totally. So, anyway,
all right.
I'm hungry.
Well, we should fix that.
Yeah, now my tummy has...
Now that you've had the cold brew, you need something to wash it down.
I'm looking at the time now. We've been up for a few hours, and it's the light looks exactly the same as it did kind of an hour ago.
Slightly worse. Yeah. there was a glimmer of hope there for a bit, and it's gone.
Well, I'm gonna go find some food.
All right. Well, see y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.